bar at the bottom of their screens to put up their hand to raise a point of order, and the Secretariat will assist me in identifying those members. When using the virtual system, members are urged to refrain or desist from unnecessary points of order or interjections. Honorable members, I also wish to caution you that should you disobey the instruction from the presiding officer and continuously proceed to raise spurious points of order or refuse to switch off your microphone, I will request the Sergeant of Arms to immediately remove you from the virtual platform. We shall now proceed to the order, which is the debate on vote number 3, Cooperative Governance Adjustments Appropriation Bill. I recognize the Honourable Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair. Deputy Ministers Bapela and Deputy Minister Tau, Honourable Chair and members of the Portfolio Committee, Honourable members, ministers, deputy ministers, Chairperson of the National House of Traditional Leaders, Chairperson of the Commission of the Promotion of Protection of Rights, Cultural, Religious and Linguistic, Chairperson of SALCA, Chairperson of the Demarcation Board, Director General of DCOC and DTA, CEO of NISA, honorable members. Today, we lay to rest Mr. Dlamini, one of the stalwarts of our movement, a servant of our people who inspired all of us. This and the passing away of Babu Mlangeni, the last of the Rivonia trialists, marks the end of an era. They belong to a selfless generation that spared no energy and dedication to secure the freedom of our people. Linus, in his autobiography, observes that, I quote, "We have political independence, but we do not have economic independence." COVID-19 brought this gaping reality to the fore. We can no longer run from our deep-seated fault lines. We have had to confront these realities of the form and content of our independence. Inasmuch as the virus impacted on every person, sector, business, culture, religion, and our entire way of life, resilience from our communities has been lacking. Honorable members, nothing brought this reality to the fore as did the inherited apartheid spatial planning and inherited realities of the majority. For instance, technology can be an answer to safe and accessible education, but the digital divide has reinforced existing social and economic inequalities, thus limiting access to information, health, and education for the majority. In the words of the Secretary General of the United Nations during this year's Mandela Lecture, quote, "Exposing fallacies and falsehoods everywhere. One such falsehood is that we live in a gender-equal society. Ours is a male-dominated world where women are discriminated upon and oppressed simply because of their gender. We've seen a spike in gender-based violence during this lockdown phase of our COVID-19 response. Gender inequality means that our country will never reach its full potential because we miss out on the talents and intelligence of half of the population. Consequently, our response to COVID had to factor in these glaring realities. We cannot afford to run away from them. The Budget Vote 3 is part of a societal-wide response by which we hope to contribute to equality and the creation of jobs through a responsive, developmental, and empowering state. Such a state actively contributes towards resilient, vibrant, sustainable, and climate-smart communities. As we have said in the House before, there is a growing social distance between leadership and masses, we said. The UN Secretary General reminded us that the people want social and economic systems that work for everyone. They want to say in the decisions that affect their lives. This is a fundamental feature of the district development model, which we have had to roll out with urgency since it is the central feature in the response to COVID. We need not fear the pandemic because it also offers us an opportunity to reset our outlook, though through our responses, we can claw back the possibility of a more equal, sustainable, and just society where leaders are active facilitators in development. To these ends, the President has deployed ministers and deputy ministers as district champions. We have profiled all the 52 districts and metros so that we can facilitate for the participation of our people in the decentralized economic system as envisaged in the Reconstruction and Development Program. The champions will contribute to vertical and horizontal integration of government planning and implementation. Through these profiles, we are getting an in-depth understanding of our districts. For instance, if I take the John Daule-Gauthiwe district, it's almost the size of Rwanda in terms of square kilometers, 27,000 square kilometers. With a relatively small population of 261,000 people, despite the fact that it is a mining area which provides our country with ore and manganese, 78% of the population is poor, and most of the land is unutilized despite the abundance of cattle and sheep. COVID has given us the reset button to coordinate our efforts towards developing this and other districts. And we take this opportunity to also congratulate this district for consistently performing well in its audit and all the districts that have had good audits. The deployment of champions will be complemented by shared service model at the district level, which will avail local economic development, planning, engineering, planners, ICT, financial, and other capabilities to our municipalities. Through the one plan and one budget, every citizen will know of the status of the plans, budgets, and implementation, thus lessening the potential of corruption and maladministration. Honorable members, as we implement the district development model, we cannot pretend that all municipalities are in good shape and simply require complementary plans, capabilities, and capacities. The Auditor General's report is a reminder of that reality. We look forward to working with Treasury, who have the financial oversight over the municipalities, to assist. COVID-19 has not spared the municipalities. It has also affected the revenue collection potential of all municipalities. For instance, there's been an under-collection of 3.1 billion over the past 3 months in just 3 municipalities, eThekwini Metro, Ekurhuleni, and the city of Cape Town, for an example. In order to ease this burden on municipalities, the President announced an allocation of 20 billion, of which 11 will be distributed under the equitable share and is new money, and the 9 billion is repurposed for infrastructure conditional grants. So it will be used to maintain and to build infrastructure in the municipalities. And MISA will be very active trying to assist the municipalities that are not able to do this on their own. The president also had announced a 19.6 billion as an economic stimulus for job creation programs. COCTA has been given 544 million of that so that we can create jobs in the municipal areas through infrastructure and maintenance using labor-intensive methods. We are hoping that we can create at least up to 25,000 jobs. And of course, for us to be able to do this and to ensure that communities are able to participate and take advantage of these opportunities, there needs to be a skills revolution where we can target a lot of skills ranging from agriculture, construction, infrastructure, artisans, and many others, so that we can begin to break the intergenerational cycle of poverty whilst building resilient, sustainable, vibrant, and climate smart communities. To complement this, we are also remodeling the Community Works program. We intend to use this program to promote active citizenry through employment of cooperative, small business, and community-based organizations. By the next year's budget, 2021-22, we'll be using this remodeled CWP. Honorable members, as I address you, South Africa ranks 5th in the global COVID infection rates in terms of numbers. Without the efforts of the frontline workers, our situation would have been far worse. We take this opportunity to salute the frontline workers, especially the health workers, the security services, and many others. They are our last line of defense. We also wish to acknowledge and appreciate the effort and contribution of the Cuban Brigade. Muchas gracias, compañeros. We also take this opportunity to extend again our condolences to all those who have lost their lives through COVID. The fight against COVID requires all of us to play our part. To recall the words of President Mandela, I quote, one of the challenges of our time is to reinstate in the consciousness of our people that sense of human solidarity, of being in the world for one another and because of and through others, close quotes. By wearing a mask, washing your hands, sanitizing surfaces, and maintaining a safe distance. At home, in public transport, at work, we protect ourselves, but we also protect our families, friends, communities, and the nation. Companies and employers must ensure that these health and hygiene protocols are observed. Those who are over 60 and those who carry comorbidities are most at risk and are encouraged to stay at home. No one is safe until we are all safe. Honorable Speaker, I would like to, before I conclude, I wish to thank the chairperson and members of the Portfolio Committee on COCTA, the National House of Traditional Leaders, and the House as a whole for cooperating with us so well, especially during this time. The Commission of CRL, the Deputy Ministers, Deputy Minister Darwin Mapela. I wish also to thank the DGs, CEO of MISA, heads of entities that we work with, and the entire COCTA family. We also would request support and approval, honorable members, of the readjusted budget, which totals 107 billion.188. Over and above this, an additional 544 is allocated for job creation. I'd like to thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable